There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was a belly of tea. The winds blew up.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Blast from the Past, a conversation from history. I'm your host, Cameron Hubble, and as always, we are brought to you by Panera Bread. Check out their unlimited coffee subscription for only $8.99 a month. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode with Winston Churchill, and I know you will enjoy today's. We are honored to be joined by Mr. Michel Montaigne. Mr. Montaigne is a French philosopher, writer, and influencer. Thanks for coming. Thank you for being here.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course. It's been a long time coming, right?
Yeah, about 400 years. Lots changed since then.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised. Some of the stuff in the world today you would not believe. I mean, everything Elon Musk comes up with, it's otherworldly. It makes me think he might be an alien.
Alien? You have aliens on Earth now?
Well, not officially, but, I mean, you know, yes.
So, seems like you guys are doing all right then.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff going on, but when I read your essays and then look around, I'm like, wow, human nature really hasn't changed a whole lot, not nearly as much as we might think.
Those hold up pretty well?
Oh my, have they ever? I mean, held up so well that everyone writes essays now. I mean, back in the day, it was kind of, you were going off on a limb with them, but we write them in school now. Some of us write them in our free time. I mean, essays really caught on.
Well, you know, it was never my intention, but if those provided society some utility over time, I'm glad to have been able to continue.
I mean, really, when you wrote those, you didn't expect us to read them or analyze them at all?
I can't say I considered it too much. I wanted to write for myself. So much of my time was spent writing for other people, writing to their interests, that I wanted to escape from that. It was my intention to speak my unfiltered thoughts and let my just stream of consciousness run. Yeah. And I feel fulfilled knowing that was done. However, it is interpreted and used in today's world. That's out of my control.
Yeah, you definitely let your stream of consciousness run in those, but I enjoy reading them. I mean, maybe that's why your essays are still relevant today. The same reason you wrote them is the reason they're worth reading. They're genuine. They're from the heart.
Perhaps. They were the result of a perpetually racing mind. When my mind ran without boundaries or objectives, it just took off. I mean, there was just no way to rein it in. The best therapy for me was just writing in this free-flowing manner. It wasn't anything anyone told me how to do. It just happened. And you guys just happen to be interested enough to read them.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that the way the best art gets created nowadays? Someone doing things differently. I mean, the art that withstands the test of time isn't someone filling out some cookie-cutter approach to something. I mean, look at music. I mean, the Beatles, Dr. Dre, pioneers for music at the time, just doing things new, and it catches on, it changes the culture, because people can cling on to it because it's new, it's different, and they like that. I think people really like that. That's what you did.
I suppose. I mean, I don't really know any of those people, but it doesn't surprise me that being unique and being genuine is still what matters.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could say that for sure. I mean, now more than ever, being unique and genuine matters. People are so into copying each other. Everyone's striving to just be someone else, you know? It's rare that people are content and comfortable with themselves.
And I'm not saying that we can't learn from each other and strive to make parts of ourselves better, but we must remember that we just cannot lose our identity. Being genuine is among the most important traits a person can possess. It keeps you, you, and that's what's necessary.
Can you say that again?
Being genuine is among the most important traits a person can possess. It keeps you, you, and that's what's necessary.
Wow. I hope everyone caught that from Mr. Montaigne. It keeps you, you, and that's necessary. I like that, sir. Thank you.
Surely. Now, what's going on in the world? What's current events like? What's on everyone's mind?
Well, the biggest thing going on recently, we're living into this pandemic right now. It's interesting. It's almost unprecedented, at least, in my life.
What's that like?
It's difficult. It's frustrating. Everyone perceives it differently. Everyone's had their own set of challenges that have come with it. Luckily for me, I've maintained my health through it. But, I feel like I've missed out on so much as a result of the pandemic.
missed out on, such as?
Well, I do college from home. I haven't gotten to meet any of my professors or any of my classmates yet.
Ah, so is the remedy more troublesome than the disease? That was never something that I was able to understand. Trying to cure one evil with another.
It's tough to say. One could argue that it is. I don't think that we know yet. We might look back and say we did too much, not enough. We don't really know. It's impossible to know definitively. I try not to think about it too much, to be honest with you.
My goodness. Well, that's a shame.
Yeah.
I mean, I really, really believe that the most fruitful exercise for the mind, especially the minds of these young people, is conversation. And it really sounds like you've just been robbed of so many. Same goes for your generation.
Yeah, that's true. Our professors have kept us engaged in class, and we get to meet them, and we get to meet our classmates in breakout rooms or other different ways to meet with them. But a lot of it's just during class, you know.
But, okay, well, outside of an academic setting, when are your minds free to roam and create?
I mean, we are just not together, you know, not as much, not with each other. I mean, hopefully by next fall, we'll be able to meet my classmates, my fellow Columbia students, and we'll have all this stored up creativity, and hopefully we're able to work together and release it and improve our society. They can benefit from all of this.
My goodness, I hope. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Does kind of sound like a shame.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, there's a silver lining in it. There's a silver lining in everything.
And what has that been?
Well, it took me a second to figure it out, but I've gotten to spend more time with my family, and that's been nice. I've really strengthened my relationship with my sister, and I appreciate that.
Good. Well done by seeing the positivity, and don't ever overlook that.
Yeah.
The love of family is something invaluable and irreplaceable with even the greatest fame that the world has to offer.
Yeah, sometimes people lose that for sure. Yeah, I'm with you. It's been great, no doubt about it.
So how would you say everyone's getting along these days? Are folks more accepting of others than they were in my day?
Naturally, as we progress over time, yes, but it just seems like a tough time right now for that, for sure. Especially here in America, we're slow to accept change. We hold on to things probably longer than we should. It's just, it's not great right now. It's difficult, for sure.
Even though change is often uncomfortable for us, there's no doubt, looking back through time, that change is inevitable.
Yeah, I mean, good luck getting that message across in America today. But I shouldn't speak so poorly upon it. It's getting better, you know. Progress takes time, but we're making it. Over time, we slowly but surely begin to accept different ways of thinking, different ideals, different lifestyles.
That's good. So, how about you? What have you done to change?
Well, I think that you can learn from everyone, right? I always try, being at this school, it's awesome. You get to meet way different, more new, interesting people than I ever would have growing up or not at the school. So I think there's something to pick up from everyone, you know? And I think that makes you a more complete person. Everyone has something to offer, and being able to identify that and look at other people and see the positive in them I think that's important. Try to do that.
I agree. So what is it like living out there in New York City?
Well, I haven't been in New York City yet, obviously, because of the pandemic. That's not obvious, but because of the pandemic, I haven't been there yet. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great place to be because of what I just mentioned. I mean, it's one of the most diverse places in the world, especially in America. I mean, it's so diverse in its population, in their lifestyles and ideas and just way of life. It's such an amazing place, and there's something for everyone in New York. I'm excited to be there.
Then pick up as much as you can. Don't see different or think any less of it. Be curious and, most importantly, be receptive.
Will do. Absolutely. Will do.
Great. Anything else that you want to talk about with me while I'm still here?
Yeah. I'll steal as much of your time as I can. So if there's one thing I want to talk about, it's this phenomenon of social media that's really impacted all of our lives. It's so new. We're still dealing with how to work it, and it's really impacted all of our lives.
Tell me more. You know, I'm starting to understand social media, but, you know, how has it impacted you, per se?
Well, I feel as if we're more watched than ever, you know. Everything we do can be seen by the world. Every thought we have can be broadcasted for the world to see. Very little feels private anymore.
I see. And are you scared of public knowing too much about you?
No, I'm not worried. I don't have anything to hide from the public. I just think that there should be more private moments. I feel like private moments are too commonly made public these days. They're shared with too many people.
Then make sure you don't force yourself to being two different people. If the private and public spheres of your life are closer to colliding and harder to differentiate, then it's best not to be a different person in each one. You see, being disciplined and orderly at home as well as in public, for example, you do belong to yourself, don't you?
For sure I do, and I think it's crucial to not have to put on an act or be a farce in public. I think it's important to just be genuine with yourself and not have to change too much about yourself. Just be confident in who you are.
Then let me ask you this: are you proud of yourself or the person that you put out to the world?
I am. I think I'm proud of myself for plenty of reasons, and I don't mind if the world sees any of them. Yeah. Doesn't bother me.
Great. Then fear not. However you feel that the public might judge you, you cannot control. But what you can control is not caring about those opinions that the public might have.
No doubt. I mean, as long as I'm satisfied with my own existence, then it shouldn't bother me if anyone else is satisfied, right?
Precisely.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your time today, Mr. Montaigne. It's been a pleasure. I realize you must be busy, having some 400 years to catch up on. But if you can give my listeners one piece of advice before you go, what would it be?
No, I can't do that.
What do you mean? Why not?
I'm too long-winded.
Yes, you are. You're very long-winded, but I don't mind. I don't mind your thoughts. But wrap it up for me, Mr. Montaigne. Give me a closing.
Okay. To any listeners of any age and any place in the world, be receptive to the thoughts and ideas of others. Love your family. Be proud of yourself. And if you're not, then do something to become proud of yourself. Be genuine and be you.
Thank you. That's good. Hope everyone heard that. That it?
Oh, heavens no. There's tons more, but I'll stop there.
Fair enough. Thank you again, Mr. Montaigne.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.
Yep. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Mr. Michel Montaigne, and don't forget to subscribe. You won't want to miss my electric conversation with Benjamin Franklin next week. Deuces.